Welcome back. In this video, we'll be learning about the conditional formatting in Microsoft Excel. Now, conditional formatting, the name itself says you can do a formatting if the condition is satisfied. So, therefore, conditional formatting. Without the condition formatting, we already have the options like in the home tab, we have a font, we have the alignment, we have numbers. These are all the formatting options. But however, in order to notify if some variants are there, if conditions are satisfied, we use the option given as conditional formatting. Okay, remember conditional formatting is if the condition is satisfied, then give us the specific formatting. Now we have some data. Now usually in the company you deal with huge amount of data. Now the data is usually a textual or numerical. Having the attention on that data becomes difficult because of volume of data. If you want to highlight quickly and grab the attention of end user, allowing him to take a quick decision, we use the conditional formatting. Let's understand. You can see that's a data over here. It's a mix of numbers, dates and everything. The first column is the date. The second two columns are given as textual values. The remaining columns are given as numerical values. Some numbers in the profit column are negative, which is below 0. And we want to highlight and grab the attention. Let's try to understand. So the first one, it says the highlight cell rules. The first topic will be talking about highlighting cell rules. In the conditional formatting, if you see the highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, we have data bars, color scales and so on. These are the options. The simplest one option would be highlight cell rules. Now here there are many conditions. We want to highlight the data only if specific condition is satisfied. That's what we have. So greater than, less than, between, equal to and so on. So we want to highlight a data which is, let's say, greater than or less than 0. Okay, in this column if you see, we have a data, okay, the profit column. Now there are some places where the profit is below 0. Okay, and because we are in a learning phase, the data is very small. In real time, the data becomes very huge. So we want to select the data here first of all, and on this selected data, we want to apply conditional formatting. The condition is wherever the profit is below 0, highlight those cell values. Okay, wherever the profit is below 0. So we selected this data, conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and here we have less than option. Here we select the less than option, and by default they have selected value as 125. However, we can tell them the value should be 0. And notice carefully the backend values which are below 0 are highlighted. Okay, so if we just move the screen, if you see minus 90, minus 20, minus 250 and all, if I say it should be less than 50, then some other options are highlighted. If you see 25 and so on. So here we'll keep it as 0. Now, however, if you think this color, if it's given here, it's not up to the mark. We want to change the color, we want to change the formatting. We can click from this drop down list over here. Let's say if I type first of all 0. From this drop down, we can select yellow fill and dark yellow text. We can select the option as green fill and dark green text. We can select light red fill and so on. So we can select as green fill. Now when we click on OK, this condition is applied here. Now the beautiful part about this conditional formatting is, suppose tomorrow the profit of 387 value, okay, in this particular cell, if it goes below 0. So if I say minus 25, now the background or the formatting of that cell will automatically change. If the data in minus 90 cell, which changes to 25, which is above 0, if I press enter, it will be removed from there. So it's easy for the end user to pick up and grab the attention. Now this was about the profit. Let's try one more. I will select this data over here. Want to highlight all the quantities which are, let's say, greater than 5. So we go back, conditional formatting, greater than option, and we'll just type here 5. And we can just click on OK. So this way we have added the conditional formatting. Now let's select the sales option. So we want to highlight the sales which are, let's say, above 500. Okay. So conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, or let's say between 500 to 1000. That's what we'll do. So here we go, between option. So between, the value should be 500 to 1000. Okay. Now this time I don't want the given formatting by Microsoft. I want to change the option. We can select the option as custom format. Custom format is giving me a freedom to choose whatever formatting I want, whatever alignment I want. So custom format option, and here we go. This dialog box is known as the format dialog box. Fill option. we can select the red, blood red option as a background fill. The font color, we can choose the color, let's say some orange color, or let's say this color, and we want it's bold, and that's it. Now when we click on OK, you can see that's a formatting preview which is given here. When we click on OK and carefully observe, the formatting at the back end is applied. Okay, it's very simple, it's applied over here. We can click on OK. So now wherever the value is between 500 to 1000, always it will give me the value. Suppose this 797 changes to 999, it changes the color. Okay, here if I make it as, let's say, I think we can go back and check. If the rule is not applied properly, we can check, because I said between 500 to 1000. However, 310 happened. Okay, so some mistake I've made. In order to go and check and rectify and fix that mistake, we can go back to conditional formatting, manage rules, and I'll tell them it says between 500 and 1000. Okay, so I can double click here, check the value between 500 and 1000. Yes, and we can change to 1000. Yes, so it was 100. Now I can click on OK, apply OK. So by mistake it was 500 and 100. Now I have made 500 and 1000. So now it is correct. If you see 450, I can make it as let's say 999, enter. So the color of this has changed. If I make it as 1001, and the color will go away. So remember, how do I check it? In the conditional formatting manage rules, here because this data is selected, therefore it is visible. And then when I double click, I found a mistake over here. When I click on edit rule, here it was 100, so I modified and made it as 1000. Click on OK and OK. So all these three things what we have seen was for numbers. Okay, quantity, sales and profit, these are numbers. Now let's talk about the textual values. If I want to highlight all the duplicate values, all the unique values, how do I do that? Carefully observe, in the city column, there are some cities which are duplicate. For example, Kolkata. Kolkata here, and here it is given as Kolkata. Second city, if you see Mumbai, Mumbai is also repeated multiple times. So if I want to grab the attention of people, showing them there are duplicate values, select the textual column, go to conditional formatting, and here it comes which says duplicate values. So we can select duplicate values, and by default it will highlight duplicate values with the given formatting. However, if you think you don't want duplicate values, we just want unique values, we can still select the option. So right now we can just click on OK. So it says Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai. These are three cities which are repeated, which are duplicate values. Here instead of Coimbatore, if I type here as Pune and press enter, so you see it automatically highlighted that data, because Pune and Pune, these are two times which are repeated here. Now, moving further, so this was about the text. I can also highlight about the date option. So if you observe here, the dates are in the year of 2020, 2021. I want to put the date, let's say as control semicolon. Okay, so I want to put, let's say, today's date, and I can just drag it down. Right. So what we want here is, we'll select the dates. So if you see 2024 dates are given, we will select the dates, conditional formatting and highlight cell rules. Now the conditional formatting is for textual values, for date values, for numbers values, everything. So here if you observe the date occurring, okay, the name of the option is a date occurring. Here the date occurring, the parameters will change. The parameters are yesterday, today, tomorrow, last week, next week and so on. So I want to highlight the values which are, let's say, in this particular week. Okay, and at the back end, 3rd September is the week which is going on right now. 3rd September, 4th September and so on. This week consists of this data. Very useful for accountants, very useful for project managers, people who want to keep a track what is the work we are going to do in this particular week, it will get highlighted. Okay, and same way if I say next week, so you can see the next week is only 8th September, so it will highlight that particular record. Usually this is used by the accountants in the company for doing a payment. So next week, what are the payments coming up, we can highlight the data. Okay, so that way we can pick up. So this was about the highlight cell rules. These are options you can explore. This is just a tip of the iceberg. So many options are there. You need to spend time with this. The next one is the data bars. Now observe here, these are the data of a big company. Okay, and we want to apply conditional formatting. The option here is human resource consists of 5,000 people, accounts we have 2,000 approximate people, finance we have this many, production we have. Now we want to highlight based on the rating, we want to give some data bars over there. So what we can do is we can select here. Now this is a very small data, you can quickly understand which is higher and lower. Imagine the size becomes huge, okay, thousands of records are there. How do I quickly understand which is higher, which is lower? Okay, so we select the data over here and conditional formatting becomes data bars. Here in the data bars, we can select the icons from here. We can see, we can select the data, and at the back end, the color will change for this option. And if you see, this is the color here. Now, by looking at this place, we can quickly understand that the human resource, let us zoom the screen, that the human resource is having maximum people. Then there is a organization development, if you see 4,000 people here. So this way, it gives us clarity, okay, what value we have here. Obviously, one method is of sorting. We can right click and sort largest to smallest, and this gives us a value. But this is one data, data bars over here. That means within the particular cell, we are having a chart like icon here. Okay, chart like icon. And similarly, the next one is the conditional formatting color scale. Now, this option is very rarely used. Hardly 1%. If 99% other options are used, this will be only 1%. This is what you call as color scales. We can select the data, conditional formatting, and here comes the color scales. So different color scales are given. These are usually used in the companies where thermal activity is tracked. Okay, we want to find out the surface temperature or something, then we use it. Otherwise, it is not used. The reason why we don't use in regular world, because if you see the colors are light and dark, it's a very difficult for a normal human to distinguish between the light and dark colors. Okay, so data bars is fine, but this is not so fine. Okay, but very few companies, 1% companies use this option. The next one is conditional formatting icon sets, one of my favorite and most liked by many people. The icon sets, usually if you see when you go to a traffic signal, you have three different lights, red, green and yellow light over there. If you see a mobile phone, there's a battery charging sign, there's a network sign and all. So the sign indicates the value. Okay, if it is red, you stop, it's a danger. If it is green, you can go ahead. Same way, the icon sets over here will give you more options. So this one is the icon sets. These are plenty of different options over here. Now let us keep a cursor on this location. So it says three arrows colored over here. Wherever there are higher values, which will give you up arrow, a green color arrow. Wherever the values are lower, it will give you a down arrow. Okay, by default it will pick up. So these are three arrows option. If I have this options here, like these are traffic signal icons. So wherever it is red color, it's lower, green color means it is higher. Same way, if you see the next one is the ratings. Okay, ratings option. Now, if you check your mobile phone, you can confidently tell me how much percentage battery do you have in your mobile phone, because the numbers is written 20%, 30%, 40%. But if I ask you how much network do you have, is it 10% network, 20% network? You cannot tell that. The network percentage is not given by default. We have apps for that, but by default, if you see on the home screen, you will not see anything. Okay, the number is not given. So therefore, companies try to hide the network percentage what you have. However, if you see this ratings are given here 1, 2, 3, 4. So you cannot be exact, but you're just giving notification. So when I keep my cursor over here, and if you see this ratings keeps us in confusion. Okay, what is the percentage of network we have? So I think the network percentage should be notified, like we have a battery percentage on the screen here. But if you want to keep people confused or not to tell everything, you can use this option as icon sets. So these are icon sets, different options are there. Moving further, and we have the conditional formatting, the last topic of this video. We have the top and bottom rules in Microsoft Excel conditional formatting. So let's say we have the products, and every column, whatever topic we are going to cover is written here: top, bottom, above average and below average. So the values are very simple, straightforward. These are numbers from 10 to 120. Purposely, it's kept very simple. So if I want to highlight the top two values from the data set, top two values are definitely 100 and 120, 110 and 120. So here we have the option as top bottom rules. Carefully observe top 10 items, top 10 percentage, bottom 10 items, bottom 10 percentage, and so on. We want to select the option as top 10 items, and by default it has selected top 10. We will tell them give us top 2. So when we select top 2 option, 110 and 120 is selected. I could have selected top 5. So top 5 items. So top 5 based on the value, it will be giving you the output here, and I can click on OK. However, if this 10 number changes to 150, and I can press enter. So where it is used, suppose you want to announce the top performance, performers in your company. You can select the data and just put here top 5, you will get the output here. In a school, college or a company, anywhere, you can pick up the top 3 performer companies, clients, customers, employees, anything in this data. Bottom 2, whenever the recession comes, you have to take a hard decision whom you should remove from the company. Okay. So at that time, this option might be useful for you. Okay. So here we go, conditional formatting, top bottom rules. We can select bottom, let's say 3 people. Okay. So bottom 3. So what are the bottom 3? 10, 20, 30, which is product 11, 2 and product 9. These are top 3 items. So we don't have to focus on this bottom 3 items. Click on OK. The next one is above average, below average. Conditional formatting. Now the values are given, and usually in the college or school you find out which people are above average, which people are below average. So you can select above average option from here, and these are the products which are having above average. Same way we can select this option conditional formatting, top bottom rules, and we can say below average option. These are below average. And if you see minus 90 is added here, 10, 20, 30 and fall, minus 90 is also added here. Moving further, now the next one we have is top 10 percentage and bottom 10 percentage. We can select the top  10 percentage from this column here, the data we have selected. In the conditional formatting, if we select the option as top 10 percentage, the name is given top 10 percentage, but it's not exactly 10%. You can change 20, 30, 40 as per your choice. So here when we select top 10 percentage, this is highlighting the first value, the highest value, which is 120, and we can click on OK. Same way, we can select the option as bottom 10 percentage, and here we can select, let's say 20 percentage. So what are the bottom 20 percentage? This two, 10 and 20 are the value which are bottom 20 percentage. So we can click on OK. So in the companies, what are the options which are majorly used? Majorly. Now this is a basic conditional formatting. We have an advanced conditional formatting coming soon. So data bars is used, icon sets is used, and we have the highlight cell rules. These are the 3 main options which are used in the companies, usually to get the data highlighted quickly. And if you see, when we look at the data, it grabs our attention, okay, very quickly. By looking at the data, we can quickly say that these are something which are below 0, something which is some number here. Now, in order to notify, suppose a person is just coming and watching this video, they won't understand why they are selected. So it is our duty as a developer, whoever writes or creates a report, he or she is a developer. So for a developer, they should write here a line. All the values in the sales column between 500 to 1000 are highlighted in this color. All the values in the profit column below 0 are highlighted in green color. All the duplicate values in the city column are highlighted by some color here. So it is our job to write down one line here. It can be on the top, it can be at the bottom. So it is so easy that even if you leave the job, even if you move to some other department in that company and a new person takes over that Excel file, it becomes easy for that person to read and understand what is there. Otherwise, the person has to go and figure out where the person can go and figure out conditional formatting, manage rules. From this drop down, the person has to select this worksheet, and there are plenty of conditional formatting applied in this sheet. The person has to go and check every place. It is difficult. So in order to make work easy of your colleagues in the company, you should write down somewhere on the top or at the bottom, okay, this conditional formatting is applied in this particular cell, and this you have to be careful about. So I hope you have understood the basic conditional formatting in Microsoft Excel and advanced conditional formatting. We have learned about the basic conditional formatting. Now this is mostly for advanced users. Now usually it becomes difficult for a person to keep a track on the entire data. Have a look over here. In the previous example, we were focusing on highlighting only one column values. So suppose profit columns, we highlighted that value, quantity column, we highlighted this value. Imagine the columns are increasing, there are 50, 100 columns. If I select this 8 value, I have to scroll and find out what is this particular date, what is a particular city, what is a particular here. And if it is lengthy columns, I have to just go and match everything. Okay, now that becomes difficult. What are we going to learn over here is now, so we have this data, let me explain over here. That's a first example of conditional formatting. There is a date of joining, there's a department, employee name and salary. So this is a fictional data of a corporate company here. The data says, the condition says, the example one, that highlight due dates. Okay, highlight all the due dates over here. So for us, the due date is 9 September. Okay, 9 September. So all the dates before 9 September 2024 should be highlighted here. Okay, so if I have the data 2 August, 3 August and so on, 10th August, you see 9th August and 10 September. So before 9 September, all the values should be highlighted. Okay, now I can highlight these values, but I want the whole record to be highlighted. Okay, whole record. Now these are 4 columns. Imagine these are 40, 50 columns. So the whole row will be highlighted here. Okay, let's try to understand. So I want to compare the A column values with cell number F5. Okay, so can I say here A5 with F5, A6 with F5, A7 with F5, A8 with F5, A9 with F5. So what I'm trying to do is, I will just write down here in order to help you and understand. So we want to compare A5, we want to compare A6, A7, A8, A9, A10 and so on. Okay, so A10, and we want to compare with F5. Okay, if you observe in this data, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10 and A100, what is common here? A. So we need to apply a dollar sign over here at the beginning, $A, and then the column name, which is, let's say, 5, the row number. Why $A? Because this column A is fixed. The first column, if I show you, that's fixed, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10. And here F5 is always fixed. So we need to put here as $5, $F5. Okay. Now if I compare both these options, then it will work properly. Okay. So that becomes a formula. What I want to compare is $A5 should be equal to $F5. Now in order to understand this topic, we have covered a cell referencing topic in the previous section. So people who have not seen, you can go back, see that video properly, and that is a continuation video for this conditional formatting. Okay, so $A5 and $F5. Let's try to understand. So here we select the data. How do we select? We kept a cursor in cell number A5, Control Shift right arrow key. Control Shift right arrow key selects the whole record. I repeat, we can keep a cursor in cell number A5, Control Shift right arrow key, Control Shift down arrow key. So it has selected all the records till how much? 820. If I want to bring back the screen, Control backspace. Selection is still there, but because I went to 820, if I want to come on the top, Control backspace. Okay, that's the option. Even if you don't know Control backspace, you can use your scroll. That's fine. Okay. Now the data is selected. Why area we have selected? Because we want to apply conditional formatting on the selected area. Okay. The formula you remember, $A5 equal to $F5. Conditional formatting, and we are talking about the advanced conditional formatting, the first example. So maybe you not understand the first example, but there are 4 examples. Fourth one till you reach, you will be perfect. We can click on this new rule option, and there are various options over here, A, B, C, D and so on. But right now we have a formula to be defined, okay, on which you want to apply conditional formatting. So what is this? Here I'll write the function or the formula. Right now it's a formula. If that formula is satisfied, what is the formatting we need to get? Okay, if that formula is satisfied, what is the formatting? So here we go. We can type here equal to and $A5. This we have spoken about, and $F5. So $A5 equal to $F$5. Why $A? Because A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A is common over there. And then we can just click on the format option. Let's choose the format, let's say as blood red option, and font color we can choose as, let's say, white. Click on OK. So you see the preview will be given as red font and white font color, red background and font color white. So when we click on OK, what happened is now we made a mistake over here. We said 9 September. Okay, it should be equal to this particular cell. Now 9 September is not there in this data. Carefully observe. So what I can do here is Control C and let's say Control V. The moment I press Control V, if you see the whole record is highlighted over here. Okay, 9 September, it is completely highlighted. Now here, if I just put Control V one more time, Control C, and if I put Control V, if you see the next row also got highlighted. So the whole record gets highlighted. That's a beautiful part here. Now, if you go to conditional formatting, manage rules, and here this worksheet. So if you see this worksheet, plenty of rules applied. So let me delete all the rules one by one, apply and OK. And now we will try this another example. What we want is all the dates which are below this particular date, below or equal to this particular date, we want to highlight those cells. So let's do it again. A5, I've kept my cursor in A5, Control Shift right arrow key, Control Shift down arrow key. This has selected the data. Control backspace to move the screen on the top. Conditional formatting and new rule. The rule is here, it's equal to $A5 is less than equal to, okay, it should be less than equal to $F$5. $F$5. And what is the formatting we can apply here? Let's say the fill should be red color and click on OK and OK. So now if you observe here, all the values which are below 9 September, below or equal to 9 September have been highlighted. So that's the perfect answer. Now in this row number A5, suppose if I make it as 10 September, which is above this particular date, and I'll write as 10, maybe I can copy from here, Control C, and I can put here Control V. So suppose if this data is copied here 10 September, it will automatically be remove the color from here. Okay, so that is what you call highlighting due dates. Carefully observe, highlighting due dates. If I want all the data to be highlighted above this particular data, so $A5 greater than equal to that particular $F$5. Okay, that's first example. Now second example is very simple. This is much simpler than what you can understand. So conditional formatting, highlight departments. So here we have multiple departments. We have accounting, administration, customer support and so on. So multiple departments are given here. What we want here is, if I select some department name from this place, that whole department row should be highlighted. Okay, that's what I want right now. So in order to do that, first thing, I don't have name of the department. One is I can write one by one all the department names, which is tedious, very lengthy process. Second is I can use a function to find out the unique departments from this column, unique departments. So the function is equal to unique. The function name is equal to unique. Carefully observe. Unique function I'll apply to which column? This particular A column. So I can select the data from A43, Control Shift down arrow key, Control Shift down arrow key and close bracket, enter. So what happened is it gave me all the unique what you call departments from the data. These are unique departments, which is good. Now I want to create a drop down list of those departments here. Okay, so maybe I can just move this on the right hand side, and now I want a drop down of all these departments. So you know, data validation, we can create a drop down. So data menu bar, data validation, list, and that's a list. Click on OK. So this becomes our drop down here. Now carefully observe, this is not the answer what we are expecting. What we are expecting here is, if I select the value, the row should be highlighted here. That's what we want. But right now, in order to get this answer, we wrote unique function. In order to get a drop down, we use data validation. Now let's apply the conditional formatting. Three things we are doing here. These are optional things. You don't have to worry. Let's focus on this part over here. So number one, select the area. Okay. Now what is the function we will be writing? Let's guess. So cell number A43, A44, A45, A46, A47 till A100, whatever value is been compared with F42, F42. So A43 with F42, A44 with F42, A45 with F42. So if you see, A column is constant. So $A42 should be compared with $F42. This is constant. This is not changing. So number one, we can keep our cursor in A43, Control Shift right arrow key, Control Shift down arrow key. What we did was we selected the data. Now if I want to move the screen on the top, Control backspace, and the screen has shifted on the top. Now you know, conditional formatting, new rule, use a formula. So you remember $A42 equals to $F42. Okay, let's zoom the screen. Equal to $A42 equals to, is it 42? Yeah, it's 43, equals to F $F42. And the formatting, we can choose the formatting. Let's say this green color formatting. Click on OK and click on OK. That's it. I think nothing great in this. So now human resources, let's go and check human resources. Is it highlighted? Yes, you see the human resources is highlighted. Now suppose I want to highlight all the accounting. Okay, so from this drop down, my job is to select the accounting. Accounting is highlighted. So you see, so easy it is. So if I want to select suppose something else, let's say administration, administration is highlighted. So the question here is highlighting departments based on the drop down selection using the conditional formatting. Now this is for departments. Now imagine you want to highlight some project manager, you want to highlight some client, you want to highlight some department, anything. You can use the same method to highlight the data. Now in real time, these are not 4 columns. In real time, when you work in the company, the number of columns are 40, 50, 100. In real time, the number of rows are thousands and millions over there. Let's see the third example. The third example is, now suppose there's a recession coming. Okay, now your job is to find out people whose salary is above 40,000. Okay, recession is coming and the company owner has to take some decision. What is the decision? Number one is based on the department, every department, wherever the person is having salary above 40,000. Okay, wherever the person is having salary above 40,000 has to be highlighted in red color. If it is highlighted in red color, it makes easy for my eyes to see and take a quick decision. For example, in this department, if you see in the accounting department, Caroline is having a salary above 40,000, which is 40,037. Second, if you see John Michael, 40,000, which is 43,000. So I want to quickly highlight those people. So let's do it. What we can do is I will write here the department and salary. Okay. So department, if you see, let me delete this column. Yeah. So if you remember in the previous example, how do we find out the unique departments? We can go on the top instead of doing it again. Why not borrow the data from here? Control C, and here we select Control V and salary. Alright, so administration department above 40,000. So let's do it, everyone. Now there are two conditions. The first condition is that $81, we want to compare this particular fixed cell with the moving data over here. Okay, so if I say $A181, $A182, so that means A181 with F181, A182 with F181, and so on. So every column, every row in that column, I'm just comparing with fixed cell. Similarly, now the second condition, two conditions are there. In the D column, D181 with G181, D182 with G181. Okay, so if you observe, D column is constant over there. In order to do this, we will be using AND function. If you remember in the previous example, we have learned about AND logical function. Okay, so there are two conditions, first and second condition we want to satisfy. Let's do it, everyone. Keep cursor in this particular cell A81, Control Shift down right arrow key, Control Shift down arrow key. So the area is selected, Control backspace to move the screen on the top. Conditional formatting going and we'll be going here to new rule and use a formula. Let us zoom the screen. So the function becomes equal to a and d. Why and? Because there are two logical tests. First logical test is $a 181, $a 181, which is this particular cell. And why $a? $a means its a column is constant, should be equal to $f, I think it's $f 181, $f 181, comma, the second one is after a column a b c d. So $d 181 should be equal to $g 181. Okay, so 181, but I have written equal to. I should write as, I made a mistake here, it should be greater than equal to, and we can just close the bracket. So these are two conditions. Now people who do not understand this, they need to go and check the cell referencing video, what we are trying to say, and then now we can choose the format over here, format red color, and click on OK. Red color is a sign for danger. Now when we click on OK, we have applied the conditional formatting, but nothing is visible. Let's go and check in the administration, any person having salary above 40,000, is it highlighted or not? Let's go down. Yes, if you observe here, all the people in the administration department having salary above 40,000. Now if I go back, let's talk about accounting. So in the accounting department, if you want to find out a person, and cancel, if you see, so something is wrong, maybe I can delete this option, clear all, and write here accounting manually. So any person in the accounting department above 40,000, it is getting the option here. Now if you think the company has got the funds, they got the what do you call, VCs over there, and they got seed funding something, and now the 40,000 criteria has changed to, let's say, 41,000. So some people would be saved 41,000, enter. So it is giving all the values which is above 41,000. So this is the conditions. How many conditions? Two. One is the for department, second is for the salary. So here you understand, highlight all the departments with salary above 40,000. It becomes so easy for the person here. Now the next one, and now the last one, I think. The first three examples which you have seen, there was only vertical tables. That means the data was going horizontally downwards. So that's a vertical table. Now this is not a table, it's kind of a matrix. Matrix is having two dimension. One is the column headings, one is the row headings. These are column headings, this becomes a row headings. So two dimensional data we have. Okay, this is called as matrix. What is the condition here? The fourth and the last example, conditional formatting, highlight city and month. Okay, you need to highlight city and month together. So Pune, Mumbai, Chennai, people are watching from outside country, outside India. Pune, Mumbai, Chennai are the famous cities in India. Okay, so if I type here Mumbai, I want the column Mumbai to be highlighted. And similarly, if I type here, let's say okay, January, the month of January, the row January should be highlighted here. So Mumbai and January row should be highlighted. So how do we do that? We have to apply 2 times conditional formatting and maybe 3 times. Okay. So let's see. $f, if you see this value which is F314, I want to compare F3114 with B3114, G3114, D3114. If you observe here, B314, C314, D314, what is common? 314. If something is common, put a dollar sign before that. Okay. So I repeat, B314, C314 and D314. All the places 314 is common. And we want to compare with F314. So this is obviously constant here. The second example, which is F315, we are comparing with A315, A316, A317, A318, which is A is common. So before A, you can apply the dollar sign. Okay, let's do it. We'll do one by one. First, we'll go for city. We selected this data without the row headings and the column headings. We selected this data without row and column headings. Conditional formatting and the new rule. The new rule is, let us zoom the screen. It says equal to $B, which is B $314. Okay, so $314 equals to, then we have F314, F $314, and that's the first condition, and obviously the formatting will apply, let's say green color. Okay, so if this is satisfied, we can click on OK, and if you see Mumbai, if I type, it's highlighted. If I select Chennai, enter, Chennai is highlighted. If I go for Pune, Pune is highlighted. So columns are working fine. Imagine these are 30-40 columns. You understand the benefit of this function. A person can quickly grab an attention. Month of Jan. So you remember this function F315 constant value is compared with A315, A316, A317. A is common. So $A. Select this data, new rule, and let's zoom the screen. So it stands for equal to $A, because A315, A316. So 315 equals to, and we can put here this particular cell. Directly I have selected, and we'll select the formatting, this one, some other color, and click on OK. Okay. Now when you click on OK, that's it. So if I type here, let's say March, if I type here, let's say June, Jun, and if I type here, let's say August, and I've got the answer here. So rows and columns both are highlighted. Okay, and if I type here, let's say Mumbai. Okay, spelling wrong, Mumbai and Mumbai. Now the next one and the last one, and this is a complementary. If I want to highlight the intersection of columns and row headings, intersection of this columns and rows, so we can give some other color, let's say red color. So how do we do that? We have to use AND condition with the logical test, both the logical test. So let's do it. We can select the data, conditional formatting, new rule, and here we go. The earlier two conditions we will combine together and put in the AND bracket here. Let us write here equal to A and D. A and D is a logical function. You can check the previous video, logical function over here, and here we can write as $A 315 equals to this particular cell, comma, and we can write here as B $315 equals to this particular cell, close the bracket. Now if both the conditions are satisfied, we want a color as blood red, and then click on OK. So which didn't work, maybe something is wrong. Yeah, so it should be B $314. So there was a mistake. We have just changed this B $314, and then we can click on OK and apply and click on OK. So you see the intersection is also changing here. Intersection of value has been also colored here. So this is something known as the advanced conditional formatting. And now there are endless examples which can work. These are 4 examples, but 400 examples you can work based on the department you're working, based on the company and the place you're working, department size and the data size. You can just automate completely and make easy for the end user by using this conditional formatting. So that's it. I hope you have understood about the advanced conditional formatting in Microsoft Excel. Passwords for Excel file. Now there are various types of password. You can protect your Excel file so that other person cannot copy the data. So there are various passwords. Number one password would be a password for your Excel file. The whole file which you see on the screen right now with multiple sheets. Now this file you can protect and give a password. So that's first one. Second, every sheet in this particular Excel file, we can give a unique password to that. So you can restrict sheet 1 so that nobody should be able to use sheet 1. The third one is you can lock some specific cells. For example, C column, D column, first row, second row, third row, you can lock that thing. And the fourth one is you can lock the Excel structure. Structure in the sense nobody can add a column, nobody can delete a column, row, and so on. So nobody can insert a new sheet. So structure of that Excel file can remain the same. So let's see all these 4 topics one by one. The first one is how do we give a password to an Excel file? Okay. Now already this file, the name is given as passwords in Excel. This file is already saved. But if I want to create a copy of this file and I want to give a password or maybe a new one. So let me create a new one, Control N. Now this file, if you see, the name is given as book2. Now this particular file I'll be saving on the desktop with a password. So let's say file, I can click on save, then we can click on browse. On the desktop we can give the name as some confidential. So on the desktop, the name of the file is confidential, but when I save this file, it will be saved as Excel workbook. That is fine, but I need to give the Excel file with a password. So here we go in the tools section. Then we have the general options. Now when we open that window, there are two options. One is the password to open. Even if the first condition is you need a password to open the file, I'll give a password as, let's say, 123. You should not give the password as 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. So you need to give a very sensible password which is difficult for a person to guess. So I've entered the password to open, and second password is password to modify. Okay, and there's an also option as read only recommended. Suppose if the person is not having a password to modify, at least the person can do a read only. Okay, so we can select the option as read only and then click on OK and re-enter the password, re-enter the password. So when we click on save button, and now the file is saved by the name as confidential, we can close that file and go to our desktop. So here comes the desktop file. Please observe. When we double click on this Excel file, okay, what happens is this is the previous file. If you see, this one is the previous file, but if you want to open this particular file, which is confidential.xlsx, we need to give a password 123. If a person is not having a password, the person has to click on cancel. The other person has no other option. So we enter the password, click on OK. Now, after entering the password, the person can modify the file if they have a modify password. If they do not have a modify password, they can just watch, they can just read, they cannot do any changes on that. However, I have the password to modify, I can enter and click on OK. So it's OK. And if you see, this file has been opened, but now this file is only in a read only mode because we selected that checkbox. So the person cannot modify and do any changes even if they have a password over here. Okay, so that's the first example how to give a password to an Excel file. If you want to remove the password, we can go to file, info and protect workbook. Here the option is given as encrypt with password. We can select this and we can delete the password here. Okay, so this will remove the password to open from here. Okay, so protect workbook, encrypt with password, and we can remove that option. So this was the first option. Let me close this file, don't save. Second one is the password for Excel sheet. Suppose this sheet is given here in sheet 2, we can type here A, B, C, anything can be typed. But if I want, a person should not be able to type in this sheet because this sheet 2 contains some confidential data. So how do we give a password to an Excel sheet? Many methods are there. The first method is right click on the sheet and then click on protect sheet. That's one thing. This dialog box appears over here. So that's first option. Second option is in the review menu bar, you can go to the protect sheet option, this one, and again the same dialog box comes over here. So that's the second option. And the third option is file menu bar, info, and here you can say protect current sheet. Okay, so that's the third option. Why you need to understand all the options? If you're a student, the college might ask you different example. If you're a working professional, obviously the shortcut method for you would be right click on the sheet 2 and protect sheet. That's the best method for you. So right click on the product sheet, this dialog box appears over here. Here I can enter the password 123 and 123, enter. Now if I try to enter some value here, let's say A, B, C, something, it is giving a pop-up window which says you cannot modify anything on this particular sheet. This sheet is password protected. So I can click on OK. If I want to unprotect this sheet, right click on that sheet, unprotect that sheet, enter the password. So this way a person can, decode that password here. Please note the passwords for Excel file, Excel sheet, everything can be broken. It's illegal to show in a video, but there are so many videos on YouTube available. You can break that password. So anything can be broken, but here I'll not be able to show that how to break a password. I'll show how to make a password. Okay. So Excel sheets, Excel file, we have seen these two examples. The third one is locking Excel cells. Now this is some important and complex topic here. In a sheet 3, suppose I want to lock some specific cells, okay, or I want to allow some specific cells, anything. How do I do that? Okay, let's see first example. I want a person should enter, let's say name, age and city. Let me show you something. I'll just highlight this data over here. Right. Perfect. The question here is, I'm giving this sheet to one of my colleague in the company, and I want that colleague or multiple colleagues, because once I share this data, this particular file, thousands of people in my company can use it. Now there are chances that someone I'm asking to enter the name is trying to change the name heading, is trying to change the age heading, city heading. I don't want people to modify the headings. I want them to just enter the data, and that data also in the cells, the highlighted cells, not the cells outside, not the cells on the top. How do I do that? Okay, so this is complex topic, try to understand. So first thing, in Excel there's a possibility that you can lock some cells, you can unlock some cells over there. Okay, that is possible. For that there are two steps. Okay, so the first step I'll show here is, in every cell, whenever you keep your cursor, if you press Ctrl 1, there's a dialog box which opens named as Format Cells dialog box. If you forget the shortcut, no problem. You can keep your cursor anywhere, right click and click on Format Cells. When you click on Format Cells, the last tab, if you see, there's a protection. Let's read what is given here. There are two options in the protection tab. The first one is the locked option and second one is the hidden option. Locked means the cell where your cursor is there is by default locked. All the cells in the Excel file by default are locked. Okay, so you cannot do any changes over there. So even if it is locked, okay, currently this is locked, I can still type over here. Okay, if it is even locked, I can still type here. So what happens is, when you protect a sheet by default, you cannot type anything because all the cells are locked over there. So we will do a reverse thing right now. We will select this area and we can unlock. Okay, we will select this data and we can unlock. That means every person, whoever this sheet is, whoever is using this sheet can modify data in this area. Okay, so we selected this data or selected this cells, press Ctrl 1 and we unlock this cells. Okay, we unlock the cells. That's the first step. But the problem here is, when we click on OK, I can type A here, I can type A here. Okay, that means both the places I can do. So because of first step, second step is missing. What is that second step? Let me show you. When we selected Ctrl 1, the second step hint is given here. What is the hint? Locking cells or hiding formulas has no effect until you protect the worksheet. Okay, that means you select or deselect the checkbox, it is not going to create an impact till you protect the sheet. Okay, so now the second step is important. The second step is right click on sheet 3 and then click on protect sheet. Okay, that's the second step. We enter the password 123 and 123. Click on OK. So what happens is, after the protect sheet, this cells, if I type A, I get a pop-up window. But if I go to this particular cell and type A, it is accepting. So here if I type B, it is not accepting, but here I can type B, it is accepting. So that means, what was the first step? I selected the cells, unlocked those cells, number one. Second, we selected the sheet 3 and we locked that particular sheet or protect that sheet. So these are the steps which you need to understand. Why we need this kind of activity? Please observe. So whenever we give this kind of data to people across the organization, there are chances they might trouble the headers, they might modify the headers, they might try to open the data which is not required for them. So in order to avoid them to go to that places, we need to lock those cells. So if I double click on city, it's not allowing. If I double click on age, it's not allowing. If it is not allowing to double click, that means you're not allowed to modify. However, I can just double click and modify this particular cell. So this is what you call locking cells in Excel sheet. Okay, locking cells. The next one is locking Excel structure. Now observe here, I can click on plus sign, I can click on plus sign. I'm creating multiple sheets. I can right click on the column heading, I can insert and delete some columns and rows, which is possible. But suppose I don't want a person to play with the structure of the Excel file. It should be constant, it should be same. Then we have an option in the review tab. The option name is protect workbook. This is the option protect workbook. What protect workbook says here is, we are protecting the structure of this window. Okay, this is a window and here we enter, let's say password as 123, 123. So if I click on the plus sign, it's not allowing me to enter or add a new sheet in the Excel file. So structure of this file is there. However, if I right click on the headers, I can insert a column, I can delete a column, which is fine. But if I right click on the rows, I can still insert and delete the rows over here, which is possible. However, I cannot insert a new sheet. That means the structure of this Excel file is constant. It is not going to change now. If I want to unprotect the workbook, I can click here and again I can enter the password 123 and now I can just click on plus sign. So remember, you can protect the structure of a workbook by giving a password to this particular Excel file. So these are the four options of protecting your workbook. The first one was protecting Excel file with a password. Second, we have seen about protecting Excel sheet. Third one, locking cells. And the fourth one is protecting your Excel structure. Okay, so I hope you have understood. And the hyperlinks in Microsoft Excel. Now, hyperlinks are used to navigate from one location to another location. It can be jumping from maybe one sheet to another sheet. It can be jumping from one file to another file on your desktop or D drive or C drive, or it can be jumping from one particular Excel file to, let's say, website, any website over here. So various places you can jump. Hyperlinks are usually used to navigate. Okay, so let's see different type of hyperlinks in Microsoft Excel. So the first thing, suppose you might have seen somewhere, if your downloading doesn't start, click here. So the word here consists of a hyperlink. The moment you click on that here word, it navigates to some location. We'll try the same thing today. So here is a word. So here is a word, and now when we click on this here word, it should jump to google.com, www.google.com. Very simple. So there are many methods to apply hyperlink, but I'll give you the simplest and easy method. The shortcut is Control K. When you keep your cursor in this particular cell, make sure it is not in the editing mode. What is editing mode? When the cursor is blinking, the options on the ribbon goes away. They are grayed out. You cannot use the options. So make sure you press enter. You come back to that particular cell. When you come back to that cell, it's not in the editing mode. Now, if you want to go to google.com, the shortcut is right now Control K. Control K is the shortcut for hyperlink. Now, there are various type of hyperlink, but the simplest one is here Control K. Option is already selected, existing file or web page. We need to just give the address. So address is, let's say, www.google.com. Okay, so www.google.com. You can put facebook.com, insta.com, yahoo.com, your website.com, anything. So we can just click on OK. That's it. One step and that's it. So now if we click on this here word, it will open google.com. So you see, I don't have any browsers open. When I click on here word, and this will open the browser google.com. So let's try one more. I want it should jump to linkedin.com. Okay, so I type here as LinkedIn. So that's my LinkedIn, and I'll just close the browser, and let's say I'll type here LinkedIn. Okay, the word is LinkedIn. Even if it is not LinkedIn, I can type my name. Let's say I'll type my name over here, enter, come back to that particular cell. So first method was Control K. Now if you're a busy person in the company and if you forget the shortcut, then the method is right click, and there's an option given as link, insert link. Okay, so here we go, right click on that particular cell, link, and that insert link. That's one method. When you click on insert link, the same window will open here. Now since I know the URL, I copy it from there and I'll just paste Control P. That's it. So only one step and we can click on OK. So when we click on OK button, now if you observe, there's a blue color font size font over here. There's an underline which notifies now it's a hyperlink. Now when we click on this link over here, it will open my default browser. My default browser is Google Chrome. Okay, your default browser might be Mozilla, might be Edge or something. It jumps to my LinkedIn profile over here, and now I can use it. Okay, so I can just click on close button. So this was the first example, navigating to a web page. Okay, the second example, let's try other example. Now I want to open an Excel file which is kept on my desktop. Let me show you that Excel file. The name of the Excel file is output file over here. So what I want is, if I click on that text in my Excel file, it should open the file on desktop. Okay, let's do it. Open Excel file. Okay, open Excel file, and then the shortcut is Control K. So one method is Control K. Second method is you can right click on this particular text and insert. And the third method is insert menu bar. On the right hand side top, if you see, there's an option link, insert menu bar link, and the last option is insert link. It will open the same dialog box. If you're a student in a college or a school, they will ask you 3 options. What are different methods? You should not be confused, but if you're a working professional, control key, quick, very fast. And then now the thing is, we want to open an existing file. We have seen the web page option, but now the existing file. And where is that file? That file is kept on the desktop. So here we click on this drop down, we select the option as desktop, and when we scroll down, we get the option as output file. Now the output file is selected, we can just click on OK button, and that's it. So now when we click on this open Excel file, this is the output file which is open. The name of the file is output file. Okay. So it's not only Excel, you can open Word, PDF, Notepad, WordPad, PowerPoint, any file, whichever you want, you can open that file. Okay. So where do we use this hyperlink? Now imagine I'm giving you whole data, okay, and some information is written in other file, maybe agreement document in Word document, a presentation in PPT. So I can just write the name. If you want more details, click here. If you want to open PDF, click here. So I can navigate and do a connectivity with the data. The third one is, one we have seen going to web page, second is going to the different file. The third one is, suppose from sheet 1, I want to jump to sheet 3. In sheet 3, I want to jump to cell number, let's say H3 or H4. How do I do that? From sheet 1 to sheet 3, and in sheet 3, I want cell number H4. Let's do it. So here I'll just type go to another sheet. Okay. You can give any name, not a problem. Here when I type, I can press Ctrl K from my keyboard. Ctrl K is a shortcut for hyperlink. And here I can go to the option as place in this document. So place in this document, which document? That's an Excel file. Now it says sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So I can go to sheet 3 option from here. And in that sheet 3, which cell number? As I said, H4 is a cell number. So now when we click on OK button, and now when we just click on that link, observe here, we will be jumping to sheet 3, and in sheet 3 cell number H4. Okay, that's a cell number. Now if you think you change your mind, I don't want to go to H4, I want to go to B5. Come back, keep your cursor in that particular cell, again press Ctrl K. Ctrl K, now the the dialog box name has changed to edit hyperlink. Earlier it was insert hyperlink. So here I can change, let's say as B5. Now we can just click on OK. So when we click on this link, it will jump to B5 location. So editing hyperlink is super easy in Microsoft Excel. Okay, let's come back. Now here we go, the other example. Suppose if you see on various platforms like Domino's, McDonald's, Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, the Ola, Uber, these are the apps. If you see, there's a feedback link which you'll be getting. So there's a thumbs up, which is a good feedback. There's a thumbs down, which is a bad feedback. If you click on thumbs up, the rating of that service or the product will be on a higher end, and you can see those options on the top. If you click on thumbs down, that link, if you click on that, it will send an email to an escalation department. That escalation department will take care, they will take a left, right, center of that product or service manager holder, and they will do something on that. So when we click on this option, a mail goes to X person. When we click on this thumbs down option, a mail goes to another person who will take an action on that. So here I'll just give an example, a good feedback and a bad feedback. So good feedback and bad feedback. Okay. So just to make it very simple, easy to understand. So when a good feedback goes, it should go to my maybe manager. Okay. And if it is a bad feedback, it goes to my HR, so that they will, send me back out of the company. So good feedback, Control K. And here we go, email address. Okay. If you see, that's an option, email address. The subject should be good feedback. Okay. The subject should be good feedback. And what is the, email address? My manager at company.com. Okay. That's the email ID. Now, obviously, my manager, that means your manager, your client, your teacher or whatever. Okay. And the company name is your domain name, and then click on OK. Same way for the bad feedback, it should go to escalation department, Control K, and here I go. Now I can just type here, let's say, as bad feedback. Okay, escalation department at company.com, and I can click on OK. So escalation department at company.com and click on OK. Whenever a person likes a photo on Facebook, your photo on Facebook, so you get an email notification that someone has liked your photo. If someone is commenting on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, you automatically get an email notification. So this is the same way, but the only thing is this is semi-automated. You have to type body text and then you have to click on send. Facebook, Instagram and all those companies have a ready-made automated system to keep on sending mails back and forth. Okay, so that's the one. So we have seen 4 types of hyperlink. Now let's see some more details. When we keep a cursor on any text over here, wherever the link is applied, we can see that this is going to take us to linkedin.com. When we keep a cursor on this location, it tells us it is going to take us to some location. This option is known as tooltip. If I keep my cursor here, that's known as the tooltip. So using this tooltip, I am giving a hint to my end user where I will be taking you. Okay, please see, if I keep my cursor here, I'm giving a hint to my end user that I'll be taking them to google.com. So if you don't want the end user to get a hint, you can just remove that thing. How do you remove that thing? I'll use my cursor to move to this particular cell, press Ctrl K, and this on the right hand side is known as screen tip. If I click on screen tip, I will tell them just write a surprise for you. Click on OK and click on OK. So when the person keeps the cursor here, it says surprise for you. It's not giving the details. It will just click and take you to that location. So if you don't want to leave a hint for your end user, you can use the screen tip. So let's do it one more time. I can press Ctrl K, click on screen tip, new output, and click on OK and click on OK. So we can click here and you can see that's a new output option given here. So that is very simple to give a screen tip. Now the last option is if you want to remove the hyperlink, you don't like the hyperlink, you want to remove that, keep your cursor, then press Ctrl K, then click on remove link. That's the option, remove link. Keep your cursor in the data, Ctrl K option, and then click on remove link. Keep your cursor in the data, Ctrl K, and remove link. So removing the hyperlink is easy from the Excel file and it's simple. Now it is no more a hyperlink, it is plain simple a text data on your screen. So I hope you have understood all different type of hyperlinks in Microsoft Excel and why do we use it. Graphical features like how do we insert the pictures, how do we insert shapes, icons and other 3D models. Now usually these are used for creating a dashboard or conveying a message about some pictorial item. It can be a product, it can be a service, anything. So we try to represent the data in the form of pictures. That is possible. Now with the newer version of Excel, the options have keep on changing. So if you're using the latest version of Excel, which is Office 365, you might get all the options which I'm talking about. So the first one is how do we insert pictures in Microsoft Excel. So let's create a new sheet and here we go. In the insert menu bar, we have the options I'm talking about is this one. So in the illustrations tab, if you observe here, we have the options of pictures, shapes, icons, 3D models, SmartArt and screenshots. So the first one would be the pictures. Pictures you can pick up from your mobile phone and directly upload in the Excel, possible. You can pick up from google.com or bing.com and bring into this Excel file, that is also possible. Now there are copyright free images which are available. So insert menu bar pictures and we have the option as place in cell, there are 4 options, again place over the cell, again there are 4 options. So currently the options are this device, mobile device, then we have stock images, online pictures. This device means whatever pictures are in my laptop, currently I am using a laptop, so it will show me all the pictures from this laptop. Mobile phone device, suppose I capture some photos and all, and if I want to import that photos here, I can use this option. Stock images, copyright free images are there. Online images, I can pick up the data from online, google.com, anywhere. So let's see from this device. So I can click on this device options. Now I have some pictures in my laptop. I'll just go to this F drive photos and I can just pick up from here filtered and then I can pick up something, let's say this picture here. So this is the picture, and the size of this picture is very big, and if you see, it's very big, it's not visible properly. So on the right hand side, if you see, there's a crop size. If you observe here, then we have the height and width of this picture. I can make it as 4, enter, and the size, the height of this picture has come down. If I want, I can make it as, let's say, 2. Then again the picture size has come down here. So this way I can bring the picture inside Excel. Now this is one example. I can also try one more time. Insert menu bar, I can go to insert pictures, place over cells, and here we go, again this device. So there are many pictures which I can import into Excel. Let's say this one, click on insert, and again if you see, the size is bigger. On the right hand side, on the top, if you see, this is the option. I can type 4, and here I can type as, let's say, 3. So height and width of the picture I can reduce. Okay, that way I can modify. Now sometimes I want the pictures in a cell, so I can click on this button on the top, place in the cell. When I do that, the picture will try and fit in that particular cell. Okay, so suppose I have 10 different photos, photo 1 picture in that cell, photo 2 picture in another cell, and so on. So I can try to show that pictures in the cell. If you want outside, click on this button, it will come outside here. The next one is again insert menu bar, pictures. Now I want to find out pictures. Now I want to find out the pictures which are not in this device, but it's in the stock images. So I can click on stock images. Now people who are in the content development, they try to create videos and photos and everything. They always struggle with photographs. Okay, so for them, these are the images which are available. You can see the images by scrolling down, or you can just search for images, let's say as nature, enter, and this will give you all the photographs of nature, and then we can select something, click on insert. So this will insert a high quality 4K images in this place. We can just change the size to 4 and width to 4. So this is the image option which is there, very simple option. And again we can go back to insert menu bar, pictures, place over the cell, and there are online pictures. Now sometimes you want a picture which is already available online pictures, and you can search anything from here. Let's say we'll try to search about, it will go and search in the Bing option. Obviously we'll search about, let's say, Donald Trump, enter. It will go and search, select the picture, and then click on insert. So this will insert the picture of Donald Trump over here, and here it comes, that's the picture here. Now that's the option which you can put it here. So you understood, right? From the device, it can be from laptop or laptop. So it can be from laptop or mobile phone. It can be from online pictures or the already inbuilt library of Microsoft Excel. The next one is, suppose you pick up a picture here, okay, and you get a tab over here. The name of the tab is picture format. In the picture format tab, there are various things, like we have seen about changing the size of the picture. We can also look after different picture styles. You see, we can choose the borders, we can change the circles option. So spend some time to modify the picture to give a more attractive look to it, so that people can pay attention to this kind of images. Okay, and you can also see the gradient fill, color fills, and all these options. Okay, the next one, insert menu bar. So this was all about the pictures. The next part, we have shapes. Now as I said, in Excel, the end goal of people is to create a dashboards, do a data analysis. So for that you need buttons, you need pictures, you need arrow keys and everything. So you can use this kind of shapes, like this kind of square shape. Again, insert menu bar, shapes, you can pick up this kind of smiley shape over here. Now let's understand, suppose you get a good feedback, you have a smiley face. If you have a low feedback, you have a frown face. So the yellow color dot, if you see, you can modify and change that angle, so it changes the look of that particular shape. Same way, insert menu bar, there are plenty of different inbuilt shapes which you don't have to borrow again, and these are some arrow shapes. If you want to navigate from one page to another page, you can pick up that shapes over there like this. Perfect. So that's a shape option. Same way, insert menu bar, shapes, and so many shapes are available here. The third option, we have icons. Now when you click on the icons option in the insert menu bar, and it will go to the icons tab. Previously it was in the image tab, now in the icons tab. Now if you want a profit icon, you can just type profit, enter, and this will open the profit icon options here, and then click on insert. So this becomes your profit icon in this place. Okay, and similarly multiple icons are already available in this location here. So icons is also available. The what is the benefit of icons? The icons, if you see, there's a separate tab or menu bar named as graphics format, where you can choose the color of the icon and modify as per your dashboard. The dashboard color will depend upon your company logo, on the product or service you're offering, or on the client logo what they're looking for. Okay, so this kind of options would be easily available. And the last one would be insert menu bar. We have 3D models available, stock 3D models. So when you click on stock 3D models, depending upon the company you're working, depending upon the department you're working, there are various 3D models which are available. Okay, you can see these are some funny 3D models, some important 3D models, and this one. Suppose you work with the healthcare or medical department and you want to teach your students about how the skeleton of a human body looks like. So you can show the skeleton, and let me just move it down like this. So that's a skeleton. You can rotate around and I can show it quickly. So if I want to teach my son or daughter, anyone like this, I can pick up this. So it's easy now to get all the icons over here. So this is for the people who are in the medical department. Insert menu bar, I have 3D models, stock 3D models. Now if you work into some electronic or maybe a manufacturing department, you also have the different options here. So if we scroll down, we can see this option. Right. So you have this option when we click on insert. So this is a kind of satellite option or something, and we can pick up, move it here, increase the size, and I can explain this to someone in a 3D model. You see, I can move it, and how easy it becomes. Yeah. So how it easy becomes to show all the parts of this device over here. I can show it. It's easy now. Schools and colleges can use it for their demo purpose. You don't have to go to Google and explain everything, and you can find out these options. So you can give a project. If you're a teacher, give a project to your student, explain me the parts of this particular device. They will try to explain you. So insert menu bar, 3D models, stock 3D models. So have a look on this. There are plenty of 3D models, very good for educational purpose. So if you're a chemistry or if you like geography, you can go to insert, and you can see in the earth surface how much heat is there. You can select this, increase the size, and here we go. So how many layers of earth are there? It is taking me back to my school, but this is good. I wish I had this kind of features available in my school at that time, but you're very lucky to have this right now. Perfect. So I think you understood about the options which are available: pictures, shapes, icons, and then the 3D models in Microsoft Excel, and how to use SmartArt in Excel. Now SmartArt topic was already in PowerPoint, but now in Excel also it is added here. If you want to present the data in a graphical format, okay, so then you use the option as SmartArts. So it is very easy for presentation. Now where do we use SmartArts? Suppose you want to show a hierarchy in a company, the manager, the team leaders, and then the people in the company, so you can show the hierarchies. Or if you want to show some process flow, you can show the SmartArt options. So there are many case studies where you can use SmartArts. How to create this SmartArt in Excel? You can just go to the insert menu bar, and here if you see there's an option SmartArt. When we click on the SmartArt option, this will give you a library of all the options. These are SmartArt graphics. So the first one, if you see on the left hand side, is list. These are different list options which you can pick up. These are the options one by one you can pick up. The second one is for the process. If you want to define from the inception process to the execution process, these are the different options you can see one by one. Then there's a cycle option. Then there's a hierarchy, relations, matrix, and so on. So let's talk about the process. For example, many people know there's a SDLC life cycle. If you are in a college, you might understand SDLC stands for software development life cycle. So let's say if this is the option step down process, we can click on OK. And now I can put here the requirement, design, development, testing, and maintenance. So in order to do that, I can just click on the option over here, requirement. Then the second phase is the design phase. Third phase is the development phase. Fourth phase is the testing phase, and the last one is maintenance. Okay. spelling might be incorrect, so you can ignore that. So this is the SDLC lifecycle process. Now obviously now SDLC is very less followed. The companies are moving towards the agile format right now. So this is one example. So I can still modify the colors, combinations and everything. So I can select this data over here. Now if I think this is not so good looking, I can still keep my cursor and I can modify. You see, I can click here and I can choose different layouts option from this tab. So in the SmartArt design tab, I still have the liberty to choose different options as per my understanding. You see this kind of options. Why do we need this? See, without SmartArt also we can present, but it is not going to be that effective. With this visual presentation, it becomes easy for anyone to understand. So let's keep the first one basic. Now here on the right hand side, we have the different SmartArt styles option. So we can choose different styles. Let me just move my cursor here and you can see it gives a 3D look and it gives you a different feel about this visual presentation here. So let's pick up this option. Right. Now that's one SmartArt option. And now suppose if I want to change the color of the SmartArt, we can choose different colors and we can pick up option over here. Now this colors will definitely depend the organization you work, what would be your company logo color, client logo color would be there, or what product or service you're trying to offer. So some companies already have inbuilt themes defined in their company. So they have to follow those themes. But if you're the first person having no themes, you can just choose as per your wish on this option here. Okay, that's one example here. The second example, now imagine I am having a company over here and there are three managers. Every manager is having three people in their department. Okay, so how it should look like in the hierarchy format. So in the insert menu bar, we have the option as SmartArt and I need to choose the option hierarchy. So this different categories are there created. You need to find out which category you belong to right now. So let's say hierarchy, if I want to create, I can select the option and then click on OK. So let's say hierarchies. So first one is let's say manager A. I'll write the name of the person here as let's say Anshika, and the people in the Anshika would be Shubhendu, then there's a Balendu, then I can press shift tab to move it. In the previous example we have the Kunal and shift tab, then we have Meet, enter Shatru, then enter shift tab. So you see shift tab in other places and there's a Tejas, shift tab, then we have Shubhajit and then we have Sahil. So this way I've got the options. Now when I click outside, let me put a backspace and I can click outside. So let's say these are some name of the people in the department. Let me just put a backspace. Okay. So here if you observe, Tejas has two participants in the department, Kunal have two people, Anshika has this two people over here. Now all these three people belong to one organization, right? So here I go, in the first place I press enter, enter, backspace, and here we can put the name of the company, let's say Techno H. Okay. Now all this I will select, press tab key from my keyboard and that's it. Now obviously it looks little bigger. Let me reduce the size and bring it on the left hand side. Right. So you see now the TechnoEdge is the company name, 1, 2, 3. These are three leaders over here and these are people in their company, in their department here. Now obviously it doesn't look that great. It looks a little bit clumsy. However, I can go here and you see I can choose the different styles over here, different options. Okay. I can choose different options, different styles to give a better feel. Now finally, I think this is a good style by which I can present, which is the circle picture hierarchy. Now in order to give more flavor to that, I can add pictures of those people over here. I can take a photograph and I can put the pictures over here. So instead of putting in Excel, I could present this in the form of this kind of SmartArt option. So most of the companies use SmartArt in the PowerPoint. Some companies use in Excel as well. So this gives a better picture here. On the right hand side, you can see the colors. We can choose the different colors, different layouts, and the styles as well. These are different styles what we can pick up from here. And that's it. So this is the SmartArt. So this was the second example. And let's see one more example. In the insert menu bar, we can go to SmartArt option and let us zoom the screen. There we have the option as relations, hierarchies, and cycles option over here. Now cycle option, if you see, this would be something for geography, biology departments, they might use these options. Now, if you are a teacher, if you are a professor in a college, definitely you need this kind of smart art styles to design a PPT so that you can explain your students in a better format. If you're a student in a college or a school, it is important for you to do it in your presentation. This will make much better. And if you're a working professional, definitely this is important here. So these are different options which you can pick up from here. And this would be a block cycle. Okay. And we can just click on OK. So this would be a cycle and you can just keep feeding the data. It will be visible here. So these are some options about the smart arts inside Microsoft Excel. I hope you have understood how to use screenshots in Microsoft Excel. Now, if you know, a snipping tool is already available where we can press Windows Shift S, a shortcut key from a keyboard, Windows Shift S, and a snipping tool is available on the screen. We can take a screenshot of that. But however, sometimes we need an inbuilt tool which can take a screenshot of some software or desktop or anything. So we have in the insert menu bar in Microsoft Excel, that's an option named as screenshot. So when we select the screenshot, these are the available windows which are already open. So if you see, I have the Windows option available, some other Excel. So I can just go to this Windows option. You can see raw recording Excel and it will directly paste. I don't have to press tab key, copy that and paste here. No, directly the screenshot would be visible here. I can just reduce the size. From here I can put here 6, maybe 4, and here I can put, let's say, the width as 4. So that is one, I can do that. Second, I can just go to Chrome and I can just type here, let's say, chat GPT. I'll be getting this link over here. Now suppose this window is open, I need to take a screenshot of this window, but I am already working in Excel. So Windows Shift S is a shortcut for snipping tool, Windows Shift S. The second option is insert menu bar screenshot, and you can see earlier there were 3, now there are 4 tabs available. So we can just click on this option which is ChatGPT OpenAI. It will directly take a screenshot from the backend and paste in the front end, and here we can put the size as, let's say, 4 and 4. So this will be 4 and 4, enter. So this is a screenshot available. Now suppose I need to take only specific data, I can just crop this data properly. On the right hand side, I can just click on the crop option and here I can reduce the width, I can reduce the height like this and click outside. So this way, this would be a specific screenshot what I look from ChatGPT. Now sometimes we don't want this kind of screenshot, the full screen. We can go to insert menu bar screenshot option and here there's a ready-made option of screen clipping. Consider the same thing as Windows Shift S option. We can click on screen clipping and now we can take a specific screenshot from the left hand side and only that area would be pasted here. So now we can use it and adjust the size option here. Okay. So insert menu bar screenshots, and this is very important. Now the same feature is available in PowerPoint. If I open the PowerPoint software here, I can just search for PowerPoint. In the PowerPoint, in the Word document, everywhere you'll find the same option, insert menu bar, and here we go screenshot. So Excel, Word, PowerPoint, these are 3 tools which have common features like hyperlink, like screenshot, pictures, images and everything. So you can use the same thing directly in the PowerPoint as well. So that's it. I think you have understood about the how to insert screenshots in Microsoft Excel, and now we'll be seeing about hyperlink in Excel, but this time not on the text. We'll be seeing how to apply hyperlink on the objects. In the previous example, we have seen how to insert hyperlink on a text. If you remember this here, the name and go to another sheet. But sometimes we don't want on the text, we want something on the images, icons and pictures. How do we do that? So let's say insert menu bar, and the first example, I just want to go to the next sheet. Maybe I'm on the sheet 3 and I want to jump to sheet 1. How do I do that? So in the insert menu bar, we can go to shapes and insert one shape which is rectangle. Here we draw a rectangle and we can write here as go to sheet 1. Okay, go to sheet 1 and click outside. So now this is a shape. I've just written a text on that, and now if I want to go to sheet 1, I'll press Ctrl K. Ctrl K and then place in this document. All the steps would be same. Sheet 1, cell number A1, click on OK. Now when we click outside and then when we click on this image or the shape option here, it will navigate to that particular sheet, which is sheet 1. Coming back to the sheet 3. So sometimes we need an arrow key which will take us to the previous page. So insert menu bar and I can go to the shapes option, and here if you see there are some arrows, we can insert some arrows. Again you can apply a hyperlink. Press Ctrl K, select sheet 2 and select cell number A2 or A1. Click outside and then click on that particular image. Make sure you have to click outside and then you can click back on that particular shape. This will take you to the back sheet 3, sheet 2. So this was inserting hyperlink on the shapes option. Now, if we can insert the hyperlink on the pictures, let's try that. Insert menu bar pictures, place over the cells. Let's say I can pick up some stock images, and here in these stock images, let's say if I put here LinkedIn, search for LinkedIn, I didn't get anything. But if I try to search for some picture, let's say this option, or let's say I can pick up this one, click on insert. Now I've added the picture over here and I'll just try to reduce the size as 3 and this would be 3. Now on this picture, if I want to apply hyperlink, it should go to maybe chatgpt.com. How do I do that? First I can copy the link of this ChatGPT, close this particular browser. Now selecting this image option and I can press Ctrl K. Ctrl K and then we can click on this existing file or web page and Ctrl V. Then we can just click on OK, click outside and then click on that particular image. This will open chatgpt.com. Okay, that's very simple. However, the other options would be, suppose if you remember I told you the up arrow which is a good feedback and a bad feedback. If you want to apply the link or hyperlink on that thing, you can do that. We can search for thumbs up in Google. Okay, we can search for thumbs up, let's say this icon, and we can just right click. We can copy the image and put in the Excel file right now in the new page. So this is the thumbs up icon and the size of this picture will make it as 2. Yes. So if someone clicks on this icon, it will send an email to X person, and same way if we can pick up thumbs down icon as well, we can apply the hyperlink on that. Now how do we apply hyperlink? We can press Ctrl K. This image is copied from Google. You can pick up image from anywhere. You can put your photograph also on that. So now after applying hyperlink, which is Ctrl K, now we can go to the email address option. If you remember, previously we have written the email address and a good feedback option. Now it is already stored in the summary option here. Now we can select the option as good feedback and we can just click on OK option. So when we click on that, so similarly you can apply the hyperlink on all these options. You can see you can apply hyperlink to pictures, shapes, icons, then we have SmartArt, 3D models, and also on the screenshot. Anything and everything you can apply hyperlink. Text is boring, which you already do, but this is something more interesting where people would be attracted and it will give you more visual presentation rather than textual part here. So I hope you have understood how to apply hyperlink in Excel on the objects. That's all for this video.